Oh, I just got a message from somebody. What did I get a message from? Who did I get a message from? Where did I get the message? Ah, another distraction. No. Horrendous. So, okay, let's begin. We were in the mountains, but if you remember the last session we were here, we'd been talking about rock pools and the seaside and the beach and the dunes and everything. Can you remember? And I threatened you with a reading session this week. And it was about how... who was here yesterday with April?
I was here.
Yeah, can you remember what April said about there'd been a warning?
About what, sorry?
There'd been a warning in the Netherlands yesterday. Can you remember what it was? She did mention it very in passing, so I don't know if you caught what she said. And I went, ooh, be careful.
No.
Okay, well, they'd been warned about going anywhere along the coast. Okay. And, oh, let me just show you why. Hang on. So, let me do this. Doof. Doof. And doof. Oh, what's going on? Can anybody see what's happening? Anybody notice what's happening around them? Oh my goodness. Can anybody spot what's happened?
Yeah, I can see on the grass.
Yeah, what's gone? What's
So-
disappeared?
The sand, of course.
The sand. Well, the whole beach has gone.
The whole beach.
The whole beach. What's left? What can you see that's left?
Rocks.
The rocks are left. The rock pool is left. Sorry, Tram, yes?
Is it a seagrass?
Well, it's grass. I wouldn't say it's seagrass. I haven't got that in my inventory. We're always restricted to what I have in my inventory, remember? But yeah, it's all looking very, well, it's not like the seaside anymore, is it? I mean, what's the seaside without a beach? Is this possible? Could this happen in real life, do you think?
Not so fast. It could happen, but not so fast.
Not so fast? Really? Okay, well, we're going to do some reading, as I say. And this is a news story in the Telegraph. Okay. And it was of May this year. So it was last month. Okay. We still have a crab, yes. Well, we've got the rock pool. Okay. Where the crab is, that's what we call a rock pool. One of my favourite parts, actually, of any beach. I'm not that keen on lying in the sand, but I do love going to the rock pools, having a look at what might have been left behind by the tide, if there's any little fishes or little crabs, sea urchins, that kind of thing. They're much more interesting than just a beachy, a sandy beach, or in this case, a grassy beach. Okay, so this is the title of the story. This is the headline. Hermina, could you read it out? Do you want to join us over here, Hermina and Reem, so I can hear you?
1, 2, 3. I can hear you.
Goody goody. So would you like to read out the headline, Hermina?
Oh, sorry, I can't see it.
In local
Where is
chat,
it?
in nearby
In
chat.
local chat.
It says delight. Starts with delight. Can anybody else see it? Is it just...
No.
Okay, I think you're a bit too far away from me. So I did say come and join me. Let me try shout, okay? I don't want to have to shout, but... Can you...
I come to you.
Okay.
And come.
Let me try again. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Ah, there you
Yes.
go.
Now,
Yeah, cool.
delighted, delighted a speech that vanished 33 years ago, leaving just rock pools behind, reappears overnight.
Okay, so from the headline, what do you think might have happened? Okay, and by the way, delight as, not delighted. People were delighted when they found out, but delight as, remember this is a headline, always short, very succinct. So delight as beach that vanished 33 years ago, leaving just rock pools behind, reappears overnight. So you said it couldn't happen so quickly, Traum. Well,
Yeah.
you might be wrong.
Yeah. My understanding, it's strange that it has changed overnight.
Well, the sea is a very strong, powerful force. It's not to be messed with, really. I mean, you don't mess about. Remember I was telling you about the Birmingham Navy? Those people who get into trouble every year, and other people have to risk their lives to go and haul them back to dry land. But yeah, these things can happen. Okay, so Hermina, if you'd like to continue reading.
Okay. Villagers are delighted after an entire beach that was washed away 33 years ago has reappeared virtually overnight thanks to a freak tide. The beach near the Irish village of Duo on Argyll Island vanished in spring storms of 1984 after waves washed away all the sand.
Oh, very good. Well done. Now, I would like you to read that word again.
Villagers.
Thank you. Yes, villages with a V. You don't want to know what you said. Okay, so spring storms. What makes a spring storm different? What is a spring storm?
A storm in our spring.
Yeah, a storm in
springtime.
spring. Yeah, what makes them different then?
But I think I didn't understand your question properly.
Well, you get storms, but what's a spring storm? Why say spring storms?
I don't know. I have no picture in my head. I see a storm, and it could happen around the year. Just yesterday we had spring. Yet yesterday we had a storm. And it was
Ah,
spring.
but you haven't got a beach to lose, so. Well, the thing about spring storms on the coast is they're often accompanied by spring tides. Okay. And those only occur around 3 to 4 times in the year. And the tide actually rises a couple of inches. Now that might not sound much, but when you're on the coast, it can be the difference between your house flooding or not, or your beach staying or not. So a spring storm on the coast, accompanied with a spring tide, can be very dangerous. More dangerous than a normal storm. And they often talk about storm surges. Okay? A surge. Tidal surge. So you've not just got the weather and the wind and the rain, you've got the sea coming at you. Now, I'd love to have been able to find something that would have washed you all away to sea, but I couldn't find anything appropriate. Okay. Any questions? So what might happen if a small village or a town loses its beach, what might the consequences be? Any ideas?
They have to leave their houses. They have to look for. They have to look for another place where they can live.
Yeah. Well, remember this didn't sweep away. This didn't wash away their houses. It washed away their beach. So the houses were okay, but the beach was gone. So yeah, if the houses had been washed away or badly flooded, they might have had to evacuate. We say to evacuate the area. Yeah. But in this case, they could stay. But what might the consequences be for the town or village to have no beach? You know, you're on the coast, you're a coastal resort.
I know, especially in the Netherlands, Lynn, they tend to fill up the beach again with material, so they will get more land.
That's true, yes. They do that. They build dikes in the Netherlands. But this is a small Irish village. They haven't got that much money, and they certainly wouldn't have the support of the Irish government to try and win back land. Maybe they could ship some sand in from the Sahara. There are beaches in the UK that bring sand every year from the Sahara. Dump it on the beaches because that's what people want. It's very strange, but they do it. But yes, Rima. No income, no place to leave your towel. Yeah, who wants to leave your towel on a rock pool? Not everybody's like me. So no income. What sort of businesses would be affected, do you think?
Promenade
Holiday,
businesses.
tourism.
Yeah, tourism. Monique, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was thinking about all the businesses just located through the promenade.
Along
will
the
be affected
promenade,
by
yeah,
that.
promenade, yes.
Yep.
Yep.
A promenade in America.
I know.
Promenade.
I
I want
refuse.
to make you happy.
Sounds too
then.
much like lemonade. Lemonade, orangeade, promenade. What does that taste like?
Promenade.
Promenade. Ice cream sellers, yeah. And if people can't go to the beach, they just won't go. They'll find another beach, you know. And so, let me think. Monique, if you would like to read the next part of the text, okay. Bear with me. Hang on.
With nothing.
Hang on.
more than rock
Wait. There you go.
Okay. With nothing more than rock pools left behind, almost all the villages, hotels, guest houses, and tests shut down. But hundreds of thousands of tons of sand were dumped on the beach over 10 days in April, recreating a stunning 300 miles long. Or meters? What is that? Yeah.
Yeah. I doubt the island's actually 300 miles long.
Yeah.
That would be a lot.
So, can you say that again from recreating?
Recreating a stunning 300 meters long beach.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Remember, when it becomes an adjective, how do you read the number?
A 300? Yeah, a 300 meter. Meter
Yeah.
long beach.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a 500-page book. Okay, the book has 500 pages. The beach is 300 meters long. It's a 300-meter long beach. I know it really sounds weird when you say it, but it's true. Okay, trust me. Okay, so this is what the beach looked like after the storm swept all the sand away. Okay, as you can see. It's not like this. It's not full of dandelions. It's just what would you describe it as?
Is that rock pool?
Well, there are rock pools, Okay, so I'm sitting. And Monique is lying on the rock pool here. So they're rock pools. Rock pools are basically it's rocky. Yeah, that's it. It's just a rocky coastline, piece of coast. There's no sand with rock pools. But only people who are strange like me go to see rock pools. They want sand to lie on. As you said, Rima, nowhere to put your beach towels. Why would you go? So it just wasn't what people wanted from a seaside resort, and it did affect the local economy. The hotels, the guest houses, the cafes, and as you said, the ice cream bars. Nowhere to have an ice cream. Who wants to sit on a rock and eat ice cream?
So that's the how this place looked like.
Yeah.
When okay.
Okay, so Traum,
Good
yes.
for the people there. I, yeah, I think that they will be delighted when this happens. This this kind of thing happens.
Oh yeah, they were.
Have my voice? Yes. Okay.
Yes, no, I could hear you fine. Yeah, it was pretty amazing for them. Okay, let me share. Let me see if I can share this as a. I'm not sure. Oh yeah. Okay, so if you, this isn't what we're reading from, but if you go here and just play the video, okay. It's only 20 seconds long, so give it a go. Yes, I do. It's a slightly different kind of EU flag as an avatar, actually, if you look at it very closely. Yeah, the water gives, the water taketh away. But it's quite amazing difference, isn't it? And you can see a little map there of the bay that Duag is. I mean, don't ask me how you pronounce Duag. I don't know. But yeah, it's a little map of showing where it is in the bay. Okay, Rima. Actually, Reem. Sorry, Reem, you were before Rima. Reem, have you got voice? Can we hear you? Do you want to do some reading?
Hello?
Hello. Excellent. Okay, so if you'd like to read this part of the text, I can hear you very well.
Yes, yes. And the picture week trash is still in the place with locals hoping it takes around long enough for the fish to be given low flag status during next year's inspection. Since Molly, manager at Alpha Tourism, said before it disappeared, the beach had been there for as long as living memory, at most continuous until 1948, 58.
Okay, well done. Little bit of a problem with your numbers, but let's sort you out there. Okay. The first word there that you struggled with, and I do notice you do fine with the shorter words. You kind of panic with longer words, Reem. try to think of longer words as just short sounds put together. So here we've got picture, and then we've got this strange assortment of letters. All it spells is esque. So picturesque, picturesque. Try it. Picturesque.
Picturesque. Picturesque. Picturesque.
That's it, picturesque. It just means very pretty. If something is picturesque, especially a landscape or a view, it's very pretty, it's very nice to look at. Okay, it's picturesque. And then the next one, again, the word ending, status. You've got to get the word ending in. Status.
Status.
That's it. Next one, slightly long for you again, but it's just inspection. Inspection. Try it.
Three syllables. Inspections. Inspection.
That's it. Now the next one is a name, but it's a common name. It's Sean. Sean.
Yeah. Sean.
Yeah.
Sean.
I know it doesn't look like Sean, but it is. Sean can sometimes be written like this as well, but in Ireland, in Scotland, in Wales, Sean is often, Sean Bean. Sean Bean. Not Peen, Bean. Everybody knows Sean Bean. Okay, the next one, very important. It's a manager. Manager.
Manager.
That's it. Do not say what you said in when you were reading it, because it's really rude. Manager. Okay. I'm not even going to say it out loud. Okay. So practice that one. Manager.
Yes.
Okay. The next one again, a long word. You panic. It's just continuously. Continuously. Try it.
Continuously.
Yeah, that's it. And then the date, 1984 to 1985, or 1984 to 85. Okay, that dash is just 2. So between that year and that year, 1984 to 1985. Try it.
(1994 to 1995).
Oh dear. Okay, there's no 9 there. Okay, there's no 9 there. It's 1984 to 1985. Try again.
1984 to 1985.
Okay. Oh, sorry. To 1985. It should have been. That's my mistake there. 1984 to 1985.
Nice.
Yeah. So you got 19. Yeah, and then 84. 1985. Okay.
1984 to 1985.
Yeah. And when you're doing 19, make sure you get a nice long E. Okay, because otherwise it can sound like 90. Okay, that's 90. And that's 19. Yeah, 19.
1984 to 1985.
Much better. Well done. Well done. Rima, take the mic.
Yes, and Lynn, is it like in your first, not first, yes, in first, 1984 to 90 or to 19?
No, it should have been 19. I made a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I do, you know.
No problem. With locals hoping it sticks around, like to stretch for more meters.
No. If you
Does it
stick
mean?
around, okay. So, for example, at the end of the session, yeah, I often say goodbye, but I often say you can stay and carry on chatting. Yeah, so I could say you can just stick around and carry on chatting. It just means to stay. Oh, stick around a while, stay a while. Yeah.
But what does it mean with locals hoping it sticks around?
Well, they
Like
want
to
the
stay,
sand to stay.
we,
Yeah, they don't want to
will
lose
not
it
be
again.
removed. Oh, okay, will not be removed again. Okay,
That's
okay.
it. They've lost it
Mm.
once. It's always possible there'll be another storm next year and
They
it'll
are
be gone.
afraid.
They are afraid that it won't stick around. Okay? And does everybody know what it's... Well, they're talking about blue flag status. Any idea what that means? Blue flag status?
Maybe to be considered as a beach.
Yeah, a beach. Well, it's a beach. It is a beach. But why would they want blue flag status? I mean, the beach is a beach.
Safe?
They've got sand. Monique?
Because it's safe and you can enter.
Yeah, it's safe. It's also clean. Okay. Blue flag status
Probably big.
it's a European thing, and it means that the water's been tested, the sand's been tested, there's no bacteria, there's no sewage on the beach. It's nice and clean, and it's good quality beach, so it gets a blue flag status. Okay, Rima, you were saying something?
Yes, but it is like which step will be next? Like because if they got this blue flag, they could easier attract the tourists to come to come
Absolutely.
there with this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, blue flag beaches are all over the world, and it's basically it means that it's suitable for tourism, suitable for people to swim in it, suitable for people to go out in boats, basically clean and safe, or as safe as anywhere near water can be.
And
And
immediately they can raise the price. for
Well, they
their
will
service.
attract more people, and of course, when you attract more people, you're more likely to be able to charge more, I guess. Yeah. I think they've even got their own website, so there you go. Blue flag. Beaches, marinas, and ecotourism. There's a map as well. You can see there's a lot of blue flag beaches in Europe, because that's where it started. But they're also around the
Quite a
world
lot.
as well. Yeah, a lot. But I'm sure there are some lovely beaches elsewhere, but they just haven't applied for the status. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to encourage people to apply for the status. So if you want to have a look in your own country, you can see if there are any blue flag beaches.
And actually, I think that is a business thing, because all of them are in Europe mainly.
Well, no, it's where the whole thing started. This whole idea of having a monitor because, to be honest, there were people going to swim in the sea with their children and right next to a sewage pipe. It's just not nice, is it? And you can't necessarily see sewage, but you don't want to swim in it, do you? So they brought this about in Europe, but it is becoming exactly. They'd get eye infections, ear infections, and even sort of like food poisoning symptoms because they were swimming in effluent. And so people said, no, this is stupid. We need to have something that tells people where it is safe to swim. And we can't... You'd think that the local council would say, no, don't swim here. But no, they didn't. They'd have open sewage pipes. And they'd just... You flush your toilet straight into the sea. Oh, it's horrible. Okay, so Monique, I'm sure it will spread. But the beach has to apply for it. They need to want to apply for it. So it's not really global yet, but I'm sure it will get there as people become more aware of it. Okay, so who's next to read? Rima, I think, yes? your
Okay.
text. Hang on a second.
From during that time.
Yes.
During that time, there was some big storms that really destroyed the beach, and it was completely washed away. In 1984 was the last time the beach was there. Then in April, when we had that cold snap over Easter, the wind was coming in from the north. It was very constant and steady, and it must have transported eroded material in from elsewhere.
Very good. Could you just read that those two words for me?
The wind.
Yes, thank you. You said the wind. It's okay, but the wind. Yes, I knew you knew it. I knew you knew it. Okay, that cold snap over Easter. That cold snap. Did you have a cold snap over Easter?
Cold snap, is that like some cold storm? What does it mean?
That's what I'm asking. Yes, said Monique. So what happened in your cold snap, Monique?
Okay. I don't know if I would call that like a wave of like a wave of heavy winds. I don't know if it's the same.
Not necessarily heavy winds, just cold weather. It's just a short period of cold weather, unusually cold weather. So a period when you're expecting sunshine and warmth, and suddenly you're like, and we talked about it in the weather section of the forum. A lot of people writing, April especially, oh my God, it's so cold. And I was as well, because suddenly, from T-shirts, we were back into sweatshirts. It was crazy. A spell, yes. A spell of, a cold spell, you could also say. A cold snap, very quick, short and shocking. A cold spell, the same. Cold spell of weather, okay? Any questions?
Well, we had this winter. It was colder than previous previous two winters or three, because previous 2 or 3 winters were very calm and very mild.
Yeah.
So this winter was.
Now,
Oh,
I'm not sure if you could say a cold snap for the whole of a season. It's normally during a season. So we had a very mild winter, and then there was a sudden cold snap in spring. Okay. Okay. Any other?
cold snap in spring in Germany. You had.
We had a terrible cold snap in spring, yes. In fact, we had a cold snap whilst I was on holiday. It was, I don't know if you read the weather section on the forum, but I wrote how beautifully hot it was, and then, stupidly, I wrote that. Shouldn't have put it in writing, because the next day we had a cold snap. And, shorts went away, trousers came out, jumpers came out, T-shirts went away. It was just but it was only a couple of days, but it dropped about 20 degrees, from 35 to about 15 overnight. It was a real cold snap. And it's nice and warm again now, so that's the weather for you. Crazy weather.
Would you say your writing jinxed it?
My writing jinxed it, I think so, yes. And I don't really think so, by the way. I don't think I have that much power. I'm just stupid.
Or is it hoodoo? How do you say it? Like jinx or
Jinxed
what?
it, cursed it. I wouldn't say
Cursed
hoodoo. Hoodoo's a bit... Yeah, hoodoo, that voodoo that you do so well.
Okay.
But yeah, to put a jinx on it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, any questions? Oh. Then Traum, are you okay to read again?
Yes, of course. Please do.
Okay.
Okay, I do. I should do it, sorry. He said the bulk of the sand was deposited in just over a week, leaving locals delighted. It's so nice for the villagers to have their beach back, he said. It is an incredible example of the force and power of nature and how the coast can change in a matter of days.
There you go. In a matter of days. Okay, just the one word. Can you say that word for me again, Traum?
And villagers.
Thank you. Villagers. Yeah, villagers. So a little bit of stress on that first syllable, vil, and then udges, villagers. Okay. Okay, any questions? Nope. Okay, then Monique.
Allowing generation to run the local restaurants that each has brought with it an influence back in the 80s after very, very bad sea, all the sand. We were just left with in a little, never anywhere volume that last year. But now it's back. We've had hundreds of thousands of last couple of.
Okay, you're breaking up a little bit there. I'm not sure if it's the same for everybody, but it sounded fine to me what I heard. Okay, hundreds of thousands of tons in a couple of months. That's a lot of sand. And it's come from somewhere else, so it does make you wonder, has somebody else somewhere lost their beach? Like they come calling and saying, I want my beach back. Any questions?
Why they said the storms will decimate all the sand?
Yeah, it's just saying
Because
that's
it
what
was in
storms
past.
do. Yeah, the storms decimated all the sand, but they're kind of saying storms like that will decimate all the sand. So would, remember this is direct quote of what somebody said, and people don't always speak grammatically correctly when they're speaking. Okay, so the storms decimated all the sand. Well spotted, but yeah, the storms will decimate all the sand. It's just, he's kind of saying that's what they do. Okay.
Did they record a similar matter in the past, or happened it first time?
Well,
This
they
time?
said in living memory. Okay. So do you know what it means in living memory?
People who still alive have or haven't experienced such a matter.
Yeah. They hadn't
Oh,
experienced it before, the first time in living memory. So they don't know. I mean, we often have another saying, since records began, especially when it's talking about the weather. We often say, it's the hottest since records began, because we don't know if it was hotter before we started recording such things. It's the hottest in living memory, so nobody can remember it ever being as hot. Okay. Rima, take the mic.
Yes, I thought slightly different, because I thought that because no one as they remember none of their ancestors didn't tell them that was something similar, like that a beach disappeared or something like it, not just through their life, from instance someone's grandpa didn't tell him or her like that wasn't case in the past.
Well,
So like
we'll
they.
discover
Mhm.
something that will make it a little clearer, actually, in a moment. But in living memory tends to mean the people who are alive at this moment. Okay.
Oh, okay,
Otherwise, you
okay.
say I've never heard of such a thing happening before. Okay, and we'll see that that's the case in this instance. Okay. So I think it's Reem's turn. Reem, if you'd like to read the next bit of text.
It is amazing. It is amazing. We haven't bad a fish for a long, long time. We have a beautiful little village as it is. But it is great to look out and see this beautiful beach instead of just rocks. These people have seen the news of the beach on the news. We have had plenty, plenty more visitors from the middle of the country.
Okay, very good. Well done. Well done. Yes, very good.
Thanks.
So obviously good news for the economy. We've got our beach back. Yay!
Finally.
Finally, yes. Okay, very good. And then Rima, I think, is next to read. Yep.
Okay.
Hang on a second. Okay.
Ooh. Whispers.
Yeah, you don't need to read that.
Uh, the beach used to be integral to the population of Akel, and during the 1845 famine, families moved to nearby to live off the fish and rich soils. The families who left the now named nearby deserted village, the beach provided sand which was mixed into the bogs to produce a soil suitable for growing crop. According to the history books, the beach at Doha vanished in the 1890s but had returned within 3 decades, when a pier was built in 1927.
Very good. So we can see that in the history books it had happened before, but not in living memory. So do you see what I mean, Rima, about the...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
got my answer.
Very good.
Did I pronounce these names?
I've no
of the
idea. I've
place?
never been there.
Okay.
Achil.
Okay.
I'd be tempted to say ch because it's Gaelic, so I'd say Achil or Echil, but Echil, I don't know. You'd have to ask a local.
Is that maybe like, do you spell like hero Akil? Is that the same pronunciation?
Oh, that's Achilles. Achilles.
Achilles.
Yeah, like your Achilles heel at the back. Oh, okay, Traum. Sorry, we've run over again. Okay. Well, I tell you what, because we have run over, so we'll. If you're okay with it, we can carry on reading the text next week. I'll give you the link here, so you can read it. But we'll carry on reading about it next week, if that's all right. And then we'll probably go down the coast a bit. Hopefully April will be back next week and we can look at the sort of coastline she was interested in, which is along Cornwall, which is more rocky, cliffy coastline, okay? But I hope you enjoyed today's reading.
Hey, thank you, Lynn.
And we've got our beach back. Yay! And Monique's been making friends with the crab all this time.
Yeah.
I was so tempted to make him bite your nose, but I was very good. I didn't. Okay, so I better put the dunes back as well.
is the next session in
Ah, the next session. Good question. Who's been paying attention? Has anybody noticed what's happening with the next session?
Yeah, you said something. You wrote.
I wrote something. Yeah, what did I write?
Forum?
It's a new room. It's a new room. It might be temporary. It might be just this week. We might be meeting there again in the future. It depends how it goes today. Okay, but if it goes terribly, then we'll probably go to Google Hangouts. Okay, but I want to test it and see, because this one will allow us to share a video. Okay, without me getting into trouble with YouTube. So fingers crossed it will work. Would you like me to give you the link now? I can do that if you, as you've asked.
Okay.
It is on Google
Yes.
Plus. It is on Google Plus, but I can share it with you here. So,
It'd be great.
yeah, I've got to find it first, so don't get too excited. Okay, it's in the community on Google Plus. It's pinned. So let me see if I can get that. Yeah, here it is. Okay, and it's 23 minutes to go, so you can
46 and
register there. Okay, so if you had registered to the previous one and you got an email, don't use that email. It will just say this session has expired. This is the one to use for today. Okay. I prefer the registration page because I can change it, and I can also it's got some benefits to the older YouTube linked webinar jam. As I say, it means we can hopefully, fingers crossed, share videos, and hopefully I can change the text for the registration, etc. Get rid of webinar and use session instead, and stuff like that. Make it more relevant to what we do. Okay. Any questions? I will have the forum open in case anybody hasn't noticed. So if you do get stuck and can't join, go to the forum, send me a private message in the forum. I should get it. Okay.
Eileen.
Okay. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Okay.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye
Goodbye.
bye. There.
Having my inventory, remember. But yeah, it's all looking very well, it's not like the seaside anymore, is it? I mean, what's the seaside without a beach? Is this possible? Could this happen in real life, do you think?
Not so fast. It could happen, but not so fast.
Not so fast, really? Okay, well, we're going to do some reading, as I say, and this is a news story in the Telegraph. Okay, and it was of May this year, so it was last month. Okay. We still have a crab, yes. Well, we've got the rock pool. Okay, where the crab is, that's what we call a rock pool. One of my favourite parts, actually, of any beach. I'm not that keen on lying in the sand, but I do love going to the rock pools, having a look at what might have been left behind by the tide, if there's any little fishes or little crabs, sea urchins, that kind of thing. They're much more interesting than just a beachy, a sandy beach, or in this case, a grassy beach. Okay, so this is the title of the story. This is the headline. Hermina, could you read it out? Do you want to join us over here, Hermina and Reem, so I can hear you?
1, 2, 3. I can hear you.
Goody, goody. So, would you like to read out the headline, Hermina?
Sorry, I can't see it.
In local
Where is
chat,
it?
in nearby
In
chat.
local chat.
It says delight. Starts. Oh my goodness. Can anybody spot what's happened?
Yeah, I can see on the grass,
Yeah, what's gone? What's
So-
disappeared?
the sand, of course.
The sand. Well, the whole
The beach.
beach has gone.
The whole beach.
The whole beach. What's left? What can you see that's left?
Rocks.
The rocks are left. The rock pool is left. Sorry, Traum, yes?
Is it the seagrass?
Well, it's grass. I wouldn't say it's seagrass. I haven't got that in my inventory. We're always restricted to what I...
Well, what? Sorry.
There'd been a warning in the Netherlands yesterday. Can you remember what it was? She did mention it very in passing, so I don't know if you caught what she said. And I went, ooh, be careful.
No.
Okay, well, they'd been warned about going anywhere along the coast. Okay. And, oh, let me just show you why. Hang on. So let me do this. Doof. Doof. And doof. Oh, what's going on? Can anybody see what's happening? Anybody notice what's happening around them? Oh, I just got a message from somebody. What did I get a message from? Who did I get a message from? Where did I get the message? Oh, another distraction. No. Horrendous. So, okay, let's begin. We were in the mountains, but if you remember the last session we were here, we'd been talking about rock pools and the seaside and the beach and the dunes and everything. Can you remember? And I threatened you with a reading session this week. And it was about how... who was here yesterday with April?
I was here.
Yeah, can you remember what April said about there'd been a warning?